Hello and welcome to the What is K-pop podcast, where in which I, your host Sophie, talk all things K-pop members. So Alice is an upcoming 5-member boy group, UK-based boy group under SM and Moonback Media. They'll make their debut on the 21st of February 2025 with their first single, Ariana. I did see something about Ariana, and then I was like, oh cool, they're doing another pre-debut thing, and I didn't actually know that that's going to be their debut. So, oh well. Mainly it's because of the fact that I just don't... When you have such a massive scope of all the K-pop groups that you kind of keep track of, you do tend to lose track of it a lot of the time. So half the time when I'm hearing about a comeback happening, it's on a news site. So a lot of the time I'm not actually finding it out. And well, also in case I follow them on Instagram or something, and I interrupt that post and it comes up, I'll see it, but sometimes you just don't actually find out about that sort of stuff. So I do apologize. Well, what am I apologizing for? I'm apologizing for being an idiot. Nothing new there. Also, I'm weirdly dizzy today, which is fun. Love that for me. So the band's name consists of the dear word dear, symbolising a letter to their fans and Alice. And apparently one of the members, Dexter, came up with the idea on that Alice stands for a love I can't explain. And this came up with the band's name after visiting a restaurant called dearALICE in Itaewon. So this group came about from Made in Korea, the K-pop experience, and I have talked about them before on the podcast, I'm pretty sure. And yeah, honestly, when I found out, I was like, oh my god, this is not gonna be good. This is just Korea boo accusations all around. And yeah, there have been a few. So back in November of 2023, SM announced with the newly established Moon and Back that their intentions were to release a reality show focused on producing a British boy band under the Korean Idol training system. Moon and Back would be in charge of the casting, and SM would provide some production for music videos, and the choreography, and that they were scheduled to debut towards the end of last year. And on the 11th of July 2024, BBC One, which is the main broadcasting, well, it stands for the British Broadcasting Corporation, and they had acquired the rights to make the rights for the 6-episode series titled Made in Korea, the K-pop Experience, and that aired from the 17th of August to the 21st September 2024. On the 1st, all the members were introduced, and it was announced that they would be debuting in February 2025, which isn't actually too bad, considering that Loud didn't debut for years, and Trainee they were supposed to debut in 2023, but then they were cancelled back in late 2022. So I'm yeah, fair enough. And obviously they will hopefully debut on the 21st of February 2025 with Ariana. So obviously they have released it is so... I'm not even going to try and deny this. It is so weird to hear K-pop terms in relation to an English band, a group similar to One Direction. It's too wacky to me. And it comes obviously from the fact that I grew up in England listening to these bands, and things like this are never referred to as this in England. So it's the Made in Korea, the K-pop Experience OST, which is original soundtrack, but normally we just say soundtrack. So it's so trippy. I don't like it at all. And I watched the first, I believe it was 2 episodes, or maybe 1.5. I don't actually remember because it's been so long. I watched it with my dad, and even he said it looks clunky. And I'm saying this as delicately as possible, but it just does not work for me. It does not. It just doesn't. I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. So we are going to talk about the members. We have James Sharp. He was born on the 9th of February 2001. I find it funny though that it's in the American style of birth dates. It's it would be 020901, whereas here it would be 090201. I just thought that was funny. I don't know why I'm pointing it out. And he is an Aquarius and a snake, and he was born in Huddersfield, England. I'm trying to think about if think about these places because I actually do know a little bit about it. Huddersfield, obviously we have like Huddersfield United. Are they a good football team? That's when it's like not even Huddersfield or United. Oh, sweet lord. Oh, it's Huddersfield Town. Oh, wait. I get. Yeah, no, it's just like one of those. Yeah, no, it is Huddersfield Town. Yes. Sorry about that. I'm stupid. Huddersfield has a university, and I actually nearly went to it when I was. Well, not nearly went to it, but I was thinking about potentially going to it for my university, like going to university there because of their health and social care program. It's actually kind of fun being able to talk a little bit more about England as as in the context of me and my own life, because I normally just talk about like soul and stuff like that. I'm trying to how far away is that from my house? From like where I live? Oh, it's only about 2 hours away. Oh, I could have done it. Yeah, well, I didn't. I never ended up going to university. Also, one of my old friends from school, they have family up in Huddersfield, so they were going to go there, but I believe they just work. I believe they didn't go on to do anything after they left college, and they are still working in a nursing home in town. I don't actually remember. I don't talk to them anymore. And James also made his solo debut. Oh my god. It's so weird. It's just so strange. And it might just be like my own prejudices coming out. I swear it's not. At least I hope it doesn't sound like it. But it's so off to hear like K-pop words in like context of like a non-K-pop group. I don't like it. But he made his solo debut on the 30th of June 2023 with Cold as Ice. So he just released a song called Cold as Ice. And he is one quarter Polish, and he is actually, he runs a TikTok account called Sharp Twins with his twin brother Lewis, who has over 5 million followers, but obviously that would have had to have stopped when he became a trainee. I don't know. Like, even my sister's like, this is weird. Like this is wrong on so many levels. And neither of us can like really pinpoint as to why it's wrong or weird for us, but it just is like on so many levels. And James is actually also autistic, and he like mentioned it in the third episode, I believe it was, that he can't really cope with like intense change and not knowing what's going to quite happen. So I'd love to hear him talk a little bit more about how he deals with autism, because I feel like that would be quite an important thing for them to, advocate for, because unfortunately, a lot of people with autism, they can't really do things like this. Like James, there's a lady who's on the chase called Anne. She also has autism, was diagnosed later in life. And obviously we have like Extraordinary Attorney Ooh. She was a lawyer on the TV program. There's a gardener person into plants, who's on like Country File and stuff like that. He's also autistic, but like there's so many people who have autism spectrum disorder who can't, do this. These are like I can't think of the bloody words today. They're like special cases, or not like special, but like outlier cases. It doesn't typically happen like this. We don't tend to get famous, or at least like not successfully famous, in the sense of that we are often attributed to our autism, instead of it just being like, oh, they also have autism. And I really do hope that like in the future they might potentially do stuff talking about autism, but if they don't, then that's totally fine. If they just want to focus on their music, then like totally fine. You don't have to like even mention any more about it. It's just, I feel like that would be an interesting thing if they wanted to do that. So next is Dexter Greenwood. He was born on the 6th of February 2002, also making him an Aquarius and a monkey, and he was born in London, in England, and he trained at the D&B Academy of Performing Arts. I would also like to give a little bit of story context to this. So, in England, I'm saying this like as though I'm an expert in England. I swear I'm not. I just live here and I just, when you just like watch documentaries when you're younger, so then you just retain that knowledge. So there's this place called the Brit School. And it's like the school that you go to when you want to become a part of like the performing arts. And it's like this really famous school. It's really hard to get into. And you go there obviously with the intention of then becoming a famous person. And the school is really good at like if you are already famous and you do like you need to go off and film stuff, you can do. It's kind of like SOPA but in England, and it's like kind of the place that you go to instead of it's school, but instead of necessarily doing like maths and English and like science and stuff like all the time mixed in with like different subjects, you do performing arts instead of those extra subjects. You do the core subjects, we call them core subjects, and you get those qualifications as well as like the experience of like the performing arts. And the D&B Academy of Performing Arts is a similar sort of place, and it mainly focuses on literally as the name implies, the performing arts. And it isn't some place that like you would find in my neck of the woods, unfortunately, because a lot of the time especially where I live, we typically become farmers. Oh my god. Or you kind of get into veterinary sort of things, or you just plainly move out of my county. So like we don't have that sort of stuff here. A lot of the places like that are in London, maybe in like Oxford and like Cambridge and like places like that. But it is very much normally in London because that's kind of like the place that you go to like film as well. Imagine it being like Los Angeles or like Ontario, Toronto, or like what's the other place? That other place. Yeah. So like it is quite common for people like the dearALICE members to go to those academies, and then it's easier for them to get scouted by these companies and stuff because obviously they're like actively gonna go to these schools knowing that those people are gonna be talented. They wouldn't go to like the school I went to because not to say that no one's talented, but like no one who is talented enough to go to those to like be famous are going to carry on being at the school that I went to. And I swear that's not a diss on my old classmates. I'm sure some of them will become famous, but it is pretty normal for them to move to London. Dexter was also on a 3-year performing arts diploma class in musical theatre. So it's not like a diploma, it's like a degree. It's a qualification. In the UK as a whole, you do things called GCSEs, or like the equivalents in Scotland. I believe Wales do GCSEs, but you do like the equivalents of those in Scotland. And you have to get above a certain grade, which is a grade 4, to be able to pass in each of those subjects. And it basically means that you are you're good in your field of study. And then you go on to do like stuff like A levels, which is like the slight step up, and you do those when you're like 17, 18. Your GCSEs you do when you're 15 and 16. And like 17, 18 is when you kind of do diplomas and stuff. Or maybe it's like after, before you go into university. And obviously university is just your classic bachelor's degrees, and then you go on to do your master's and your doctoral studies, and then you're pretty much at the top of your field once you get to that sort of stuff. And when you do like a diploma sort of thing in that context would probably have been like 17 to 20 perhaps, or might actually just plainly be what he did after school, if you wanted to know that context. And apparently he loves the Harry Potter series, and his Hogwarts house is Ravenclaw. Mine is Slytherin, which I feel like would surprise a grand total of absolutely no one who knows me in real life. But yet, here we are. Sorry, I've got the burps today. I just ate my lunch. I just did that thing again where I eat right before I start recording. And then I'm like, I have deep regrets. So next we have is Oliver Moratti Quinn. He was born on the 23rd of January 2004, making him an Aquarius and a monkey. Lots of Aquariuses in this group. I'm not gonna lie. And he was born in Sunderland in England. I believe Sunderland is in the north of England. Sunderland. Holy mother of pearl! Oh god, that's so far away. It's in the Tyne and Wear area. Tyne and Wear area of England. So it's like near to Newcastle, and that's so much further than I thought it was gonna be. Jeez, here was me thinking that Liverpool and Manchester were far up. What? Sorry, that was my phone. Far away from me. No, it's like a whole. It's just like so far. So I'm just looking at the bubble messages. Cool. Anyway, so that's a bit of fun for you. And there is also a football club called, I believe that one is Sunderland United. Why is it all AFC? Or am I just like Associated Football Club? Right, that makes sense. So is it gonna? Oh, it's in the FA. Fascinating. No. Ollie also loves Studio Ghibli films, which I'm apparently Spirited Away is a Studio Ghibli film. I did not know that. And he has a pet royal python named Ziggy and a dog, which we don't know the name of, which is unfortunate. Next we have Reese Carter. Oh my god, they're all Aquariuses. Born on the 16th of February 2004, and he was born in Wiltshire in England. Where's Wiltshire? Wiltshire. I know where. Oh, I love that. Oh, it's got the Stonehenge in it. I love Stonehenge. It is in the southwest of England. It's near Bristol and Exeter and all of that. Not near Exeter. Wait, am I tripping? No, near. It's near Bristol and Port and Southampton and Swindon and all of that good stuff. And it's near Glastonbury, the town of Glastonbury. I don't know if Glastonbury is actually held in Glastonbury. Is it Glastonbury? Near Pilton in Somerset. So it is. Oh, it might actually be. Oh, because it's literally right next to Glastonbury. Oh, God. Oh, yeah. It's in Somerset. So it's like, it's where my dad grew up, in the good old West Country. And I don't believe he has an accent from around there. I have heard him talk, but he doesn't sound like he comes from the West Country, which is fair enough. And he previously worked as a stage performer on cruise ships. But he said he doesn't like the water or heights, was it? I don't know. I was trying to watch the show, but I found it too cringy. And his favourite cereal is Hazelnut Crave. My sister used to love Crave cereal, but thankfully, she has gotten over that obsession. Apparently, he prefers burgers over pizza, which I don't agree with. Pizza is delightful. And you know what part of the roast dinner he loves the most? Yorkshire puddings. Yes, he's my bias. I love a good Yorkshire pudding. At a garden centre I used to go to with my parents, my sister obviously. They used to serve these massive Yorkshire puddings with all sorts of like filling in them, and I used to get like the sweet and sour chicken one. And it was so funny because I used to eat most of the Yorkshire pudding with the weird sauce in it and not the actual sauce. And I'm sure my parents were just like, yep, that's our kid. That one's a weird one. I used to eat like adult-sized meals, or at least try to when I was younger, of like a massive Yorkshire pudding and like sauce in it. They used to be so good. Yeah, but sadly we can't eat like regular Yorkshire puddings anymore, or at least only me and my dad can, so we don't usually buy them. We just have to make our own, but you know, I do love a good Yorkshire pudding. And his favourite favorite UK snack is cream cheese and crackers. That's a choice. I do like crackers. I like Ritz crackers, which is like these like small round crackers with like a little bit of sea salt on them. And I tried to put like Nutella on them because I wanted to be like cool and eat like my mum does when she has like crackers and cheese at the night time. And it was just really, really weird because it was like sweet Nutella with just like random ass grains of salt in it. And I was like, that's a taste. Didn't like that at all. Reese was previously lived in Busan, South Korea for 8 months as a part of a cruise ship job, which I'm like, why were you living in Busan for 8 months? Like, yeah, you worked on a cruise ship, dude, but like, How would you have gone to Busan for 8 months? Yeah, so next one we have is final member we have actually. Blaze Noon. He was born, oh my god. Thankfully, not an Aquarius. The 4th of January 2005, making him a Capricorn, and he was born in London and went to the Brit School. Thank you. Went to the Brit School in the practical dance department. So, like, I think there's like obviously there's practical dance, and there's an acting and musical theatre and that sort of stuff. I don't know like too much about like the curriculum at the Brit School because I never went to it because I'm not that good. Surprise of the fucking century that one is. Let's have a look. Where do you find? Is it under curriculum? I don't know. Oh, fun! It's like GCSEs mainly, so like the final 2 years of like proper school, or 3 years. You can do media and film and media production, dance, interactive digital design, music, musical theatre, and visual arts and design. And you do still have to do your English, literature and language, maths, combined science, which is like all 3 types of science. Personal professional development, which was, God, it was like life skills. And then like PE and then religious education, which was god awful. I hated it. Not that like obviously I like hate religion, but it's I don't know. It's hard. It's hard when you're not inherently religious yourself to really learn about religion and kind of like properly feel like you're like being respectful towards it because you're like, I don't believe in the beliefs that religion does kind of give you, and yeah, I don't like it. So it's Blaze a part of the alumni? Well, obviously he's a part of the alumni, but is he like mentioned? No, I don't. Is it? It's like got the pictures, but I don't know who you are. Good to know. Anyway, he's been fascinated with acting, singing, and dancing since childhood, and he's also into photography, which is good. And he mainly plays Waluigi in Mario Kart, which I'm like, there's so many characters you could have chosen from Blaze. I'm like, Link? Anyone? Link was always my character, by the way. Me and my sister always used to play Mario Kart together, but she went to uni. And I've always kind of been terrible at I've always been actually really bad at video games, but I mainly played because I wanted to hang out with my sister. But yeah, I was just like criminal on them. It was not fun. But yeah, thank you as always for listening. Especially about me just dunking on England for like 30 minutes. I swear I do actually love the country I come from. It's just that like this sort of thing has never happened before, which I'm like, yeah, great. Yeah, evolution, like revolution, development, whatever you want to call it. Cool, I appreciate it, but it's just really, really strange. It's not something that the only like real group that we've ever seen being formed, that were being formed on a TV show and kind of then, seen debut as it was obviously like One Direction, and they instantly became extremely famous, and then obviously were continued to be until they kind of decided to branch off and stuff. And then sadly we have seen kind of what happened when these people aren't given the support that they need, that K-pop might be able to provide for these guys. So I do hope that the group is successful. For as much as I have dunked on them, I do hope that they do well and that they don't feel the pressures that I know that some groups can feel and stuff. I will talk about Ariana when it comes out. And I might also just do like a episode on like groups that haven't released too much music and I'm just talking about them for like 20 or 30 minutes. The next episode will be my review on all the things that have happened this month, which will come out a little bit later on, like 7 p.m. in English time, British Standard Time. Or actually, no, it's Greenwich Meridian Time, I should say, not British Standard Time, which is actually British Summer Time, which starts back up in March. So yeah, thank you as always for listening, and I will talk to you guys again very, very soon. Bye!